Hello and welcome to Circus Chicken Dog. This is gonna be the stay edition. This is the stay edition. So what I do when I let the dogs out, so it's not completely chaotic and quite frankly dangerous for Jingles, is I make the dogs sit and stay as I open the door. And, you know, my thinking is that it'll help them with their staying. And, you know, it was really dangerous for Jingles. I saw her get forced to the ground a few times. And I just don't like the utter chaos and barking that goes on. And Coyote would jump on the door. Like I could just barely even get to the door to open it with the dogs being so crazy. So I started making them sit and letting them out one at a time. I would say, you know, sit, and that dog that would sit, I would open the door for, and then I'd shut the door. But now it's gotten into where I have them all sit together. Like everybody has to sit before the first dog gets out. And I was working on the ring mat today and just didn't have time to really train the dogs. Working on that ring mat just took so long that eventually it just got time to where I needed to train the dogs and get them some food because I knew they were probably getting hungry. So I thought, okay, I don't have anything better to do. Like this, I can do all the dogs. I can train all the dogs at one time and get a training session in. So I'm gonna work on that because quite frankly it's not going very well having them all sit and before I open the door. So I'm like, okay, training session for it. You know, there's an old adage that you can't expect behavior, you can't train for behavior when you need it. And like when we wake up, I need that behavior of them sitting. And, you know, so I'm trying to train them to do it, but they're not doing it. So here's a chance to train them. So this video is 11 minutes long. I spend 11 minutes working on this, and you'll see that Jingles and Squirrel just they do not get it. Now, Mouse, I always trained Mouse to lay down. I never trained Mouse to do a sit, so he defaults to the down behavior, and so I have to work on getting him to stay in a sit. Yeah, there goes Jingles. Jingles is just going all over the place. You know, I train them to do platforms, so Jingles goes up on that bag a lot, and you know thinks that's gonna work. But no, I want them in order: Moose, Mouse, Skeeter, Jingles, Coyote, Squirrel. And that's just the order. I've seen that Mouse likes to be on the other side of Moose, but too bad. Yeah. So there goes Moose. I originally trained Moose to only do the down behavior. Like Moose and Mouse didn't get to learn sit for a long time. Now Moose, I've worked on Moose quite a bit, so she has the sit better. Moose was by far the worst dog between Moose and Mouse. Like Moose had way more problems than Mouse, so I started concentrating on Moose, and now she is the better trained dog. So it looked like Mouse was going to be the best dog for a long time, but then yeah, he got ignored because he wasn't the worst dog. And it's the same way with Skeeter. Skeeter is so good that I really don't spend much time training him. So there's Jingles laying down. She just does not get it. But it looks pretty good. I can get a distance away. Yeah, there goes Squirrel. Okay, Jingles goes down. All right, they're paying attention though. Jingles just does not seem to know that she has to do a behavior. So, you know, this is a good exercise because, like, I really concentrate on which dogs are having a problem. Now, the reason I started making this video was that I was working on that behavior, all the dogs sitting, and I realized that like I was having all kinds of problems. So I wanted to get the training session on video so I could review it and see what my problems are. And yeah, that's when I realized that Moose and Mouse default to that down position. Jingles doesn't stay in order. Squirrel's pretty good, but she doesn't really get it either. Like I never worked on like staying behaviors with the dogs before. It was always, for a long time, until about a year ago, I only cared about the tricks that the dogs did. I didn't care about the sit or the stay. It was like if they did the trick, I would just put them in a box until it was time to bring them out. Like I'd put them on a platform. They could do anything they wanted. But yeah, things have just gotten too chaotic. I spend too much time just kind of not yelling at the dogs, but the dogs not knowing what I want them to do. You got to get their focus before they can really understand what you want. And that's really the case, is that I've seen that a lot of times the dogs just are confused. Like they want to do what I'm telling them to, but they don't know how to do it. Like right there, I'm concentrating on getting the dogs to ignore the food that's in my hand. The requirement is making eye contact. So let's see. So yeah, I'm bringing that hand down. So what's going on here is that like the food being in my hand is a trigger. It distracts them. So like I get the food in my hand and I bring it down below their level, the level of their mouths, and then they have to still look up at me and make eye contact before I'll give them a marker that they're going to get their food. So I'm trying to place Jingles there. Coyote's just totally gone, and that's the thing and you see Coyote bumped into Jingles. So that's another thing that I've been working on is the dogs being in their own space. So Coyote has gotten yelled at a few times. Yeah, now Squirrel's doing the same thing, leaning up against Coyote. So there's a lot going on here. It seems like such a non-training session. Like nothing's going on. I have to say it's not entertaining at all. There goes Squirrel. Defaulting to platform behavior. Incidentally, yeah, that vinyl down there, that's what I'm gonna be using for that new ring mat design that I have in the works. So yeah, Mouse is up, but she's still in the right position. Okay, and then goes down. It's just one dog. Like one dog ruins it for everybody. All right, so I'm going away. The dogs are paying attention. Now, I don't know if it's obvious, but like I've gotten them condensed. Like they're in a much smaller position. So yeah, I start monkeying with the camera, and the dogs just start doing whatever they want. All right, I don't yell at them. That was my fault. That was totally my fault. They got up. I wasn't reinforcing them. I'm asking them to do too much. That's the training philosophy. But holy cow, if they just did it right, it would be so much easier, right? Well, that's why it's hard. That's why people will watch my dogs doing tricks. It's pretty much. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting them into position. I'm starting to feed them more. Yeah, I've realized that I need to be giving them more treats. I remember thinking that, yeah, the dogs are getting up because they're not getting enough reinforcement. So yeah, now they're paying better attention. Like it's like I can get paid if I pay attention now. So this is a good thing. Another thing about the reason I'm doing this training on this mat is that when I've been outside, I drop food, and one of the key things, like it's such a simple concept, but it's so hard to enact, is do not spill food. Anytime food hits the floor, oh, there's some good training right there, kicking mouse. Okay, I was just placing him with my feet. Okay, let's not get overboard. But okay, yeah, I wanted him there. I am trying to condense them. So yeah, back to the food thing. Don't drop food on the ground. And like, you drop food outside and it's hard for the dogs to pick it up. It's that random reinforcer. They know that if they look on the ground enough. Okay, I've given up. I'm like, this has gone on too long. The dogs are having too many problems. Really, the training session was just too long. I realized that. Like, in my mind, I thought this might have been like 4 or 5 minutes, but like I said, it turned out to be 11 minutes. All right, don't drop food on the floor. So that's the thing about this vinyl, is that if the food is obviously there, then they'll get it. If it's not, you can see Mouse is still looking around. Like, it's a new thing, this mat idea. So, pretty soon, hopefully, Mouse will figure out that, like, there's no reason to be looking around because there's not going to be any food on the mat. All right, well, that's it. Circus Chicken Dog, as the dogs finish up their feeding. Yeah, it's a long video, long training session. But, yeah, this is what I try to do as I let the dogs out in the morning, at night. Anytime we are going to go out, is the dogs sit in that order, and then I release them one at a time. All right, hope to see you down the road. Circus Chicken Dog.